All right, guys, here is the intraday report, closer towards the close here. And what I'm going to do is go over the parabolics that we were talking about, and I'll pull up FinViz and kind of go through it with you. Canal sent out a pretty cool um, FinViz scanning blog post. So we'll go through the FinViz list here. Let's quickly look at our current positions here. ERX just ramping up here up to 2027. A lot of this stuff is just playing out exactly like we wanted it to. Entry 17, we're up to 2027. And you know, 20, probably 12% move now on this, or my math is probably bad here. Yeah, 12 or 13%. And again, we're looking at a target here, initial target at 21. CMG breaking out here. We talked about holding the 9, looking for that move to 540, 550 now. We took a partial look at FCX Go. We took a partial here at 820 this morning. It's already ramped up to 883, and that's why I didn't take a full position, because I still really like it. And you guys are getting a good feel how these bottoming formations can really form here and break out. And it's just awesome that you guys are getting to experience this, because there's so many good ones in commodities here that you don't have to wait for the next market for this to happen. So that's really nice here. And we're going to now look to take profits later on. I talked about 930. I might even raise that here. We've gone over ERX. Let's take a look at oil. Oil getting back up to our entry level here, and you can see the patience in holding through here has paid off, and taking the smaller position so we could do that has paid off. And now again, we're playing this for longer. I'm a little concerned it's WTI. We could have to deal with decay, but it's not too bad this early. But as it goes, we could start to lag the 3 times that we expect on the underlying. And then SPXL, nice here, breakout yesterday. We're at the high of yesterday here. And again, we want to get into this target range I've put here. This is the second gap here at 78. You could go with the first gap at 76. But somewhere in there, I think I'm going to look to take a profit. And then if we break from there, maybe I'll get back in. But we've made such a big move from 62 to 74. That's just huge. So we're going to stick with that. Now let's get into looking at the parabolic shorts here. And what I've done is scanned for 20% moves on the week, price over $7. You know, when I'm shorting, I'm really nervous holding overnight stocks that are really low priced. For my day trading, I'll go down to maybe $3, but for overnight holds, I stay away from that. And then average volume over 200K. There's 3 pages, so that's about 60 stocks here. And I could use some filters to narrow it even more, but I like to, any scans I do, I like to get more than less. I don't want to accidentally not see something because I scan too tight. So I like to keep it a little broader here. And I'll pull up the bigger charts here, and we'll go to candle. So let's take a look here. ADBT would not be a candidate because I want to see a kind of a straight move up. This consolidation sets up actually another long. So this is not what I'm looking at here. I was interested in ALRM here, especially when it put in this candle here. That's kind of classic parabolic. But now I need to see this breakdown. I would have expected a continuation here. So not interested in that. Not interested in this. And I'm not going to go through each one. BSFT, which actually I've been day trading for some really nice moves past couple of days. And even though it's ramping up, it's actually been a great morning gap or parabolic short the past couple of days. But let's see here. This might be setting up what I would like for BSFT. Now, again, when we scan for these, we're not necessarily looking for today, but we're looking for the near future. So I would love to see another day. Now it's gone from 28, 38, 10 points here. If it could test 40 and fail, I would love that. So BSFT is definitely on my parabolic short watch list, but that does not mean I'm going to trade it. CKEC is looking interesting here, but I feel like too much of the move is already in there. CSAL, this one looks decent. Not a huge move from 16 to 20, but maybe I'll take a look at this one here. CSAL, it could pull back in here to 18 and, quick 2 points, that's 10%. So uh, nothing, I can't even tell why this one's even on this list, but I have been watching CZR. Big move up from 6 to 9. I was actually hoping it would test 10. So what I would really like to see here is another push up. I like to let these things get as extended as possible. DPM, DK, no, DPM, it still has some room here. Even though 4 big up days, I'd like to see it ramp up a little more. DWA, again, I would like to see that maybe test 27 and fail. EBIX looks interesting. A move from 30 to 40. Again, you have to be careful on these. You can't just jump in because it's extended. You're going to lose a lot of money that way. You need to have the signal and then be able to manage risk, and definitely trade small on these. These things can run up. They can gap really big. So you have to really be really careful trading these. Edit, really nice one here. This is a recent IPO that will crash. I can almost guarantee it at some point here it's going to crash. But everybody has been saying that on the way up. That's why it keeps squeezing up. So we want to see, give us that signal here. It's had maybe a fake out right in here that caught some people. So once you've seen that some people have been caught, that's when you really get interested. So edit is actually one of my favorites. But again, we are waiting for the signal. Do not enter early on these. I can't say that enough. Nothing else here. All right, we still got a few more pages here. But this is basically a very simple way to look for parabolics. Now, you can have a really tight scan that spits out exactly what you're looking for, but I love doing it this way. It doesn't take a long time. I'd be done with it if I wasn't explaining this stuff to you guys already. So, just a couple of minutes here, and I've gone through the list. But I'm also, by seeing this, I'm seeing some stocks that have kind of escaped my radar for consolidations and longs that might break out. Hun is interesting here, but that's only 2 points and has some room here, so not yet. I like JCP here, and I've actually been watching for a signal here, but there is no signal yet. Juno, this is on our long watch list. A break of this downtrend, now ramping up. The only way it would be parabolic if we get a few more huge days here. Kate is looking interesting. Move from 16 to 22. Maybe I'll put that on my list here, but I think it still could move here. Maybe LXRX later, but not yet. LXU, I actually day traded this morning. This was a really great parabolic short on an intraday level. But for a swing, not so much yet. We could really ramp up here. But if it gets in this 12, 14, 16 range, I will look for a signal. So we'll watch for that closely. A move from 6 to 12 gets it at 100%. So that's when we really start to get interested here. An 18% short float. Okay, MTZ, not really. Not 3-point move, not huge. Netflix is putting in a W pattern. There's nothing to do as a parabolic short. Ruby, maybe, but I'd still like to see these run. And I err on the side of risking missing it and letting it get more extended than getting in early and having it really squeeze once I'm in. So I am patient with these. I will miss some, and that's okay. And I'm doing more of these in the report, even though they're more aggressive trades. So those of you who want to trade more conservatively, maybe don't take this setup, or just study it right now until you get a really good feel for it. SPXC testing highs here, a move from 8 to 12 and 4 days of big up days. So that one might be interesting here. STMP, no. TAL, no. Maybe TRCO, a move from 10 points here, testing 38. But again, we'd want to see a little more, but definitely one to watch. Maybe not setting up this week, but maybe next week it ramps up to 42. We'll see. TRGP, this is one looks like a nice actual bottom formation here. Okay, one more page here. So just by doing this, we've already got about, I would say, 10 stocks here. TX looks interesting. Wes, and I think that's about it. XXI is another one I day traded on this day, but not really setting up for a parabolic short. I was hoping this would really ramp and then would set up, but it did not. So that's a really simple method to look for these things, and then this is not even half the battle. This is nothing right here. We're just getting our list. Now you got to learn how to trade it, and that's where you can either make a killing or lose your shirt. So we'll be watching these. So keep an eye on these stocks. I'll put this list in the report for tomorrow. And then we're going to monitor these. And most likely, most of these will not set up. We've got this list, and we're going to wait for that one or two that set up. Most of these will not. But when we get the signal in one or two of them, we'll take a shot at it. So that's it for the intraday report. Well, actually, let's hit some of these commodities real quick. And actually, these commodities are running so much that eventually we might get some good short opportunities in these. Now, we are long FCX, but if it tests the 200-day, that might be a good spot to short, especially if it ramps into it in the next few days. X, same thing. Wow, look at that. It's gone even higher. POT, we talked about this, all of these, they're at spots now where we can't enter. So we should be happy that we're actually in 3 of them. You can't take everything, but FCX, we're profiting from that. ERX, we're profiting from that. WTI, hopefully oil will ramp up here. Acted really crazy. Oil inventories report was here at 10:30, and you see all this crazy action after that. And this is every Wednesday when this happens. So good day today, and we've got some parabolic shorts to watch. We'll watch these in the coming days now.